Hello, Prinny here with another video. I'm thinking about calling this video the 5-star trap question mark. You can see the subject of the video is Senshi. I recently got far enough in the Delicious and Dungeon event to get him to 3 stars, which is as far as you can get him for free without doing shard farming. And if you're a new character, a new player, or since it's like one of your favorite characters, maybe you're thinking of getting him to 5-star. And most characters, it's a no-brainer if you want them to be at 5-star. That's where they're going to be the strongest. But since she has a potential trap, which I don't think necessarily means that at 5-star he's necessarily weaker than her earlier stars, but there are certain things you might be counting on before hitting 5 stars that you won't realize until you hit 5 stars. And in particular, it has to do with his trait. The main advantage, pretty much the only advantage of going to 5-star over 4-star, is one extra stack of Senshi's satisfaction and 100% chance to gain both happiness and fullness. And until I saw, I think it was Mello's video, I didn't realize this potential trap, and it only actually occurred to me when I was thinking about it later. So the troublesome is that cannot trigger cuisine effects, and does of course prevent them from getting happiness every turn, but it also prevents other benefits to triggering cuisine. This is first off, the HP recovery, which he'll get a 5% boost to the HP amount that he heals, but then he'll only be able to heal, I'm not sure if it's every other turn or every third turn, depending on how the cooldown works, but you're trading a little bit stronger heal for it happening less often. Like, if in theory, if you only have a 30% chance, you could have like 4 turns in a row him healing 20%, as long as happiness doesn't trigger, which happiness, has some benefits like reducing energy consumption, and reducing cooldown, and there are certain characters that will have maybe a 3-turn cooldown, and then happiness will be able to trigger again, and they'll be able to do it like every other turn instead of every 3 turns. I don't believe, though, that like with Coco, where you can scheme a way to give someone happiness every turn, they'll be able to use a 2-turn cooldown every turn as well. Skill, as long as they just use that as their first skill. So that's not possible, but at least you'll be able to get HP. But you might be saying, okay, well, it's still a good trade-off because HP, I got other ways to heal. It's not like I'm relying on that HP to keep my characters alive. But there's another skill. Let's see if I have it equipped. Yes, here it is. This is a useful skill as long as you don't have characters with a competing aura effect. being able to increase the attack and defense for both your allies and decrease them for your enemies. I'm not sure there's other units that have both at the same time, but when the character, and I believe that's only Senshi, triggers cuisine effect, gains 1 stack of Senshi satisfaction and recovers an additional 1 energy. So with this skill, the only thing you're really gaining from happiness is that 1 turn cooldown, which with Senshi himself, I don't believe he has many skills he would want to really benefit from happiness. But Senshi satisfaction, that can be a very valuable effect if you're planning on going the ascension skills route. He has his level 2 ascension skill gives him the ability to be immune to bound effect, which includes the skip turn effect as part of his mealtime if you don't have the supporting skill that removes that downside. As long as he has four stacks of Senshi satisfaction. And his third skill, his third rank 3 ascension skill, makes it where he gains 2 Senshi satisfaction, I believe, at the end of his turn, plus an extra 1 if he's has less than 3. So if he has no Senshi satisfaction, he will gain 3, and if he has the smell of cooking and cuisine triggers, gain an additional stack, bringing him to 4. So that means as long as happiness doesn't trigger every turn, you can end every turn with 4 stacks of Senshi satisfaction, making him immune to bound. And then if he wants, he can attack, gaining like, I think that's 120% boost to his attack, because that's what Senshi satisfaction has. And then up to 6 stacks, 30 damage by 30%. So he can actually hit pretty hard every turn while keeping bound immunity between turns, but only if he doesn't trigger happiness and subsequently triggers fullness. One second. I tried to pause the video, but for some reason the video ended. I heard someone doing some sort of mower right outside the window, and I didn't want it to get into the video. Lost a bit of my train of thought, but I believe I was nearly wrapping up. So, in addition to maybe not wanting to 5-star Senshi because of having better priority for other units, especially since his main benefit would be like the happiness, that like being able to count on happiness every other turn or every 2 turns. And having a little bit of boost to his attack and defense, which you can get at 4 stars if you really wanted to take him that. There is a potential downside to gaining 100% happiness and fullness. Mainly the skills that rely on him triggering cuisine. going 5-star will have some anti-synergy with those skills. And if you were thinking about taking him to 5 stars anyways, take that into consideration if you wanted to do the sort of build I mentioned, that taking him to 5-star, you can't take that back. And I think I'll end the video here, and hopefully I'll be able to get those 2 videos stitched together. I'm sure I can figure it out. Thank you, and have a great day.